In this tutorial, we will talk about many-to-many relationship between the person and the address. That means more than one person can refer to more than one addresses. If we try to do the mapping with just two tables, there can be a high redundancy of data. So in order to prevent the redundancy, we need a separate middleware table having the mapping details. Though there are gonna be redundancy, but only of referring key values. Again, I have a blank person.hvm.xml and a client class. First, I'm going to create a class address with property AID of type int, city and state of type string, and the getter and setter. Also, I need to create a class person with property ID of type int, name of type string, and associated set of addresses. All done at the entity side. Next, I need to declare the entity mapping in HVM file. So, declare an element class of person. Next, map the property ID of person class to act as primary key at the database end with the key generation strategy as native. Similarly, I need to declare the mapping for class address with AID. Let's map the rest of the property of person class. The name and of the address class, the city and the state. Now we are left only with the mapping of associated address to person by many-to-many strategy. As we are using set at the project, I have to map the set of addresses. Also, I told you in my previous tutorial that set results in the creation of separate table. In order to keep the relationship, we require a foreign key. So, define a key column ID. Also, the many-to-many element with the class address and set the cascade option of it to all. All done. Now, quickly create some entity instance in the client class. Create one instance of address with city set to Gwalior and state set to MP. Create one more instance of the address class with the city set to Pune and the state set to Maharashtra. As the person accepts the set of addresses for association, so we create a set of addresses and add both the our defined address to it. Next, we are going to create two persons and associate the same set of both addresses to both the person. First, I'm going to create person instance with the name set to shape and associate the set of addresses to person's shape. Also, I'm going to create one more instance of person class with the name set to send and associate the same set of addresses to it. At last, request the session object to process both the person at the database end. All done at the coding side. Let's quickly execute the client and see the result. Okay, things look good. You can see commands for one more table, person address. At the database end, you can see three tables with person having ID value 1 and 2 and the address having ID 2 and 3. And both the addresses IDs 2 and 3 need to be associated with the person IDs 1 and 2. Let's check the person address table. As you can see, address ID 2 and 3 associated to both the person IDs 1 and 2. Let's quickly check the graph. As you can see, the person address table is acting as a middleware with two foreign key columns referring to primary key columns of person and address.